Congratulations on bringing your brand new baby home, but question, do you actually know how to pick this little thing up safely without feeling like you're gonna get a heart attack yourself? No shade, but bouncing your baby up and down on your shoulder like they do on TV or like your grandmas did is actually not recommended. Thankfully, there's 1,000 better ways to handle that thing, and by the end of this video, you will be prepared. Yup, I said prepared. Let's go.
It's the Dadiator. It's the Dadiator. Dadiator. With the Dadiator.
Welcome back to the Dadiator channel, where we flatten the steep learning curve of parenting by breaking down complex stuff into clear, actionable advice for new parents just like you and I. Yup, picking up a newborn can feel pretty intimidating. I was personally terrified of holding other people's babies, but once mine arrived, I had no choice but to step it up. Today's video will break down into 3 different parts. Part A is going to be about general safety guidelines for handling your baby. Part B will talk about the different holding styles and what has worked best for us. And Part C is common things that everyone does that you definitely should avoid. I'd love for you to stick around till the end to hear this and see which one of these you've been doing wrong. So let's dive right in. Here is a quick safety checklist. Number 1 is wash your hands constantly. They're fragile and their immune system is just starting out, so you want to give them the best chances. Number 2, especially at those early stages, cover and protect that umbilical cord stump. Keeping it covered will make your handling of the baby much more stress-free, as you don't want to mess with it, as drying or irritation can lead to infection. Number 3 here is be aware of the fontanelles. These are the soft spots on your baby's heads. There's one here and one at the back, as you can see in this picture. These take a while to fully close, so just be extra cautious around them. It may be tempting to touch those parts of the head, but only do that gently. The next tip is always support the baby's head and its neck. The spinal cord is very fragile at this stage, so you want to make sure it doesn't bend in any awkward way. To pick up a baby, gently slide one hand under their neck and one under their butt and lift up slowly. And then move the baby close to your body until you have them secured. And when putting them down, you do the same thing in reverse. You put your hand down along with the baby against the bed or the lying surface, and then you slowly slide your hands out. Don't slide it out too fast because you'll end up rolling the baby, so nice and easy. Next tip is rest your arms whenever possible. If you're sitting down, you can put a pillow underneath your arms or put it on the sofa armrest or something like that to make sure that you are comfortable, and in turn the baby will be comfortable as well. Sometimes it feels like, oh, my whole body is clenched trying to hold this baby, and you don't think that you could easily just rest your arms somewhere and relax. So just be conscious of that. You being comfortable is going to make sure the baby is comfortable as well. Next tip here is to avoid multitasking. I know you desperately need that coffee, but at the same time, sleep deprivation can ruin coordination, right? So one hand on the coffee, one hand on the baby. Don't risk it. Be careful on the stairs as well. Your eyes should be on the stairs at all time while coming down, and hold the railing as well. This is especially true for the moms. With the baby coming out, the body has changed significantly. The center of gravity has shifted as well. So you might have to relearn going up and down the stairs. And, don't try to do that with a baby. Play it safe. And lastly, we have the elders and the children that really want to get their hands on your baby. And you do want them to hold the baby. Just ask them to sit down, just so they're stable and your baby is safe as well. Moving on to part B. Some popular baby holding styles and what has worked for us. Now, there's more than one way to hold a baby. I'll just talk through some of the more popular ones. The first style is the cradle hold, the classic head in your elbow crease, supporting the baby's spine and the bottom. Easy, natural, probably most common. Second is the shoulder hold. So your baby's head is on your shoulder. One hand supports the head or the neck, other hand supporting the bottom. This can be great for burping or comforting, But, I personally wasn't comfortable doing this for the longest time, at least until the spinal cord was somewhat stiffer, because often what would happen is as I was lifting him up and he came to this last portion, he would just plop forward and hit my shoulder. So, I tried to not do that. I preferred some of the other holds. Third type of hold that I can talk about is the football hold. It's tucked under your arm like a football. It's fantastic for breastfeeding or just holding the baby if you're smaller and you want extra control. Fourth style of hold is the belly hold. Is the tummy down on the forearm, perfect for gas relief, calming fussiness, or if your baby's a little bit colicky. But you want to be a little bit careful as well, because if their stomach is really full and you apply pressure on the stomach like that, it can result in them puking. So, try it out and see if your baby's handling that well. The last one here is the lap hold. So you sit down and you let your baby lie comfortably across your lap, freeing up both hands. At this point, they probably haven't started rolling yet, so you're good, but always keep an eye out just to make sure they are stable at all times. Quick pause here. What is your favorite baby holding position so far? And what's one method that hasn't worked at all for all of you? Now, 5 is just a very tiny drop in the ocean of the ways that you can hold the baby. So if there's something you swear by, please leave it in the comments for other parents to benefit from. And if you're finding this video helpful, then please hit that like button so we can reach more parents trying to figure this stuff out as well. Okay, let's continue. Now we are in part C, what not to do. Common mistakes everyone makes, but you won't because you've come across this video. Number 1, never lift your newborn by their arms or their underarms. Especially in the first few months, it can cause the head to flop and cause nerve damage. Number 2, avoid bouncing your baby up and down. Contrary to popular belief, bouncing can actually reflect your anxious energy, making the baby more stressed. Instead, try to gently cradle them and sway them. Even walking will create a naturally calming motion, so do that instead of trying to bobble the baby up and down. Which takes us to our do not do number 3. Never ever shake a baby. No matter how cute they are or how tempted you are to squeeze them and shake them and go, "Why are you so cute? Why are you? Why are you so cute?" Resist the urge. Next on this list is do not pass the baby. By this, I mean let the other person come in close and receive the baby, allowing them to position their hand safely before you transfer the baby over. Just the act of passing or moving the baby through mid-air can lead to a lot of vulnerabilities in how you support them or risk of them slipping and things like that as well. So, do not pass. Let the other person receive instead from the safety of your grip. And last here is avoid kissing your newborn if you've recently had or currently have a cold sore. I know it's tempting, but newborns can't fight viruses very well, and especially as you're holding them that close to you, you feel like landing 100 kisses a minute. But if you have those symptoms, please hold that urge and protect their health above all else. All right, so here's the good news. Soon enough, picking up your baby won't feel so stressful. Your glutes will finally unclench, you'll relax, and maybe even start singing silly lullabies to them, as you definitely should. Enjoy these precious moments now. Before long, that tiny baby that you will often describe as a blob now will squirm to crawl out of your lap, and you'll miss holding them this close. And Messiah is almost 1 year old, and I do miss his blob phase. Tell me what's something you found surprising about handling your newborn, and any tips on helping other parents navigate it. Let me know in the comments so we can help more parents. Next week, we're continuing the 101 series, and we'll cover everything related to feeding your little one. Breastfeeding, bottle feeding, burping. Yep, you're about to become a burp ninja. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you catch that video coming your way. Until then, moms keep slaying, dads keep daddy-ating, and I'll see you next week.
With the Dadiator.